Okay, now I'm going to read some of my poems, and this is from a manuscript called The Infinite Microscope. Monk's Latitudes. Shapeshift, wend, and rift. Angles, round, corners, puzzle chords blue. Nailed off key and soldered shut, then launched into next bar. Whole space, open peril, plus subtractions and octagonal luster. Hinges waxed black, blent wires, a sign. Artemis. A serpent's tail runs throughout this throne of words, circuitous as the mind's path is. Teased syllables from lip, light and dark sounds, we enter a forest, hear ourselves echo. Shutters close, the music dims, we wander half awake to morning's submission. Ornette. Deep blues and needles, carving the eternal bird. Burnished fire pierces the root. Harmolodic theory, a misreading of the standard text. Raw blues, folk essence, homegrown root. A hinge, a lament, a sound out beyond the net. Self-portrait in sound. Jack's electron microscopic prose. What grows is not the facts that memory worked over, but the surge from and lap back into the constant blast. Everything actuates in front of you in myriad profusion. The only form that holds what I have to say, quivering with the quivering motion of the earth. A constellation of force. I hear Evan Parker play off this in my mind, freeing velocities of his angling line, all the extensions, prevarications, lengths, and widths, until all the energy is consumed into the air where all the sound is. Little stabs at the periphery. A single note, orchestral, astral, hung then wedded, splayed and waxed until parallels aligned. Syntax governs these mutable fields. The symbol pyre ablaze, words blur in the draft of sound, blinded by light. A train of thought, a tangled wood, a figure on the carpet, a block of sound, a model in different time, untamed particle throng, encroaching flame, air slab, a mirage. By design there is no design. Jagged glossal wedge, tidal slurs, electromagnetic viscera, galactic strands, worn gambits, a steer in words, a pier, a weave, the wonder that overwhelms, deep in the eye occult, a syllabic jolt, strumming volts at the periphery, steady tracking impossible, wobbling firmament, blotch shimmer, seethe, cast shadows from the planetary days. Residual ions wiggle, purr in the atmosphere. The blurred interval, then red light. The curving of surfaces, zigzag incandescent sound. Fractal haze. Endless radios at night. Cycles, quizzical bridges, airs, out of the realm of nothing whatever. Beyond, a draft, a note struck, Parker in the park winding the snake. The only way out is out, Steve. The inner drive triggers the light, the circumference of which syllable, I tangent to no one, a waveform from outer space. Next to me, my angel, a kinetic beat, the depths hemmed chromatic, the fastest hands ever waxed, a prismatic eye, the music's lead, goad, move to act or stop, I sound, the outer signal, awash in a blaze of notes, fever banter, pounded rock, thunder bottled, a sonic pinch, drowsy iota, plug, spit, tear, a cacophonous whirl, sends me back to snap out of phase. Wrong side up, I blink. There's a drop in pressure at these speeds. It's time to travel again. Drastic fleets accelerate around the solar belt. Acoustic, I dive into the fractal haze, the word maze, lose track of hours, days. Prismatic echo. Precise locations shift with eye's rapid movement. Infinitely divisible areas under a curve, a sill, a frame, the intervals through which I pass. Each turn the edge of need, a sinuous rift, blown drapes, ridges undulate across the medium. Thin sheaves of water, spilled then distilled in the alembic. Curl of wisteria, a bloated star, hypnotic wind, labyrinthine. The shadow of the asphodel, the eye's nimbus, the many echoed voice, a lattice, a carved star, a hive, a sound ion, an iron bell, the niches, wedges, the whole space open peril, a sound flower, the chimeras descending, the faded light of dream alphabets, ungrammatical nocturne, the blends silvering, leak, stick, clack strange in the language, the resolved bars of last night's enigmatic woe, a note in the eye's circuit, a chord, a crescendo, a prismatic echo. Bird Flight for Phil Shapp. Dizzy radio bliss, solos, hazard, and late night ghost notes, spills and slurs, flatted fifths, astonished roves, the fabled star cluster, wedged in the improviser's sound, an invisible sun, a flicker, a squall, a collided square, a pyrotechnic dazzle scat, a welded ratio in the ear. A fluked semblance morphs out of time, the baffling strands. Then alpha slips into beta and races off toward the 0 hour, where the sounds ascend into waves of outer space, fly up the spine in a roar and break through. Synthesize. Sound threads fuse, undulate as they fly around in the mind. Inarticulate at the surface, in the dark of words, each nerve blooms wild. Numerals constantly shift position, an implicit gesture, a syllable anchored in the medium, tensile, the heart's tense, alchemical wind, incubation in the choral air. The shapeless is without shape. Unborn symmetries pulsate. Navigate those strands, the world's ephemera. Synthesize and mark measure as one, as if all the musics were in essence no sound at all. Okay, I'm just going to close with one piece, one page here, short text, part of my translation of Alessandro Jodorowsky, and it's from a text called The Psychomagic of Cinema. It was translated from the transcript of a talk he gave at the Locarno Film Festival in 2016. The Psychomagic of Cinema. I don't know myself. The human being is infinite. We never really know each other completely. We find out who we are gradually while creating things. So I can't define myself as a whole. If I could, it would mean that I'm dying, but I plan to live to be 120 years old. I've loved my entire life and have always done what I wanted to do. And I have worked with people I loved. I've always been true to myself and never listened to what others wanted me to be. My backbone is poetry, and poetry is nothing more than the search for beauty. We seek out truth with language as our guide, but we can't find truth this way. Words are not the thing. And no philosophy is a search for truth, it is not truth. We attempt the search through language, but beauty is what I'm after. So let's search for beauty. In Greek mythology, the three graces always go together and can't be separated. They are truth, beauty, and goodness. If a truth contains neither beauty nor goodness, then it's not the truth. There are no evil truths. If it is as they say, that life is an illusion, then it's the most beautiful of illusions. The three graces belong together, and this is what I look for in my films: truth, sublime beauty, and goodness. Cinema is the most complete of all the arts, but it's a business and was born to make money. It's expensive to make a film. First, you need money to finance it. This is very difficult, almost impossible, especially if you'd rather make art than business. I've always been a kind of extraterrestrial, a stranger.